Okay, my name is Simon Peter Bukenya. I'm a programs officer with the Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa under the Climate and Agroecology Working Group program, but I also dabble as the AFSA Youth Platform Secretariat Coordinator. We have to understand that the Africa continent is the youngest in the whole world with the highest percentage of young people. And we also have to appreciate the fact that media has played a big role in influencing young people's diets. For a long time, young people have forgotten about their indigenous, culturally acceptable local foods and have gone the other way of consuming fast foods, all that kind of food, junk that has, in the long run, hindered their health, but at the same time created a lot of obesity challenges in Africa. So this campaign, My Food is Africa, is going to help the young people appreciate their roots, appreciate their tradition, appreciate their cultural food, and also understand the benefits of consuming African food because it's healthy, and also the fact that the youth are the future of tomorrow. They have to fight for their food rights, and they also have to understand that this food is what is going to create their identity as Africans. On the other hand, creating a very healthy Africa, but also a very sustainable Africa. There are so many actions within this campaign. First of all, the young people are supposed to mobilize their fellow young people. If you look at the campaign, the countries that we started with, you find that the people who are leading this campaign have the responsibility of bringing together these young people as inclusive stakeholders, but also empowering them to keep that multiplier effect, and also inviting their fellow young people to come and put a strong voice together as youth and fight for their rights, for their African rights to their food. And the other responsibility that the youth have is to, first of all, appreciate this campaign. When you hear the word "My Food is African," it's like an identity. You're African, this is your food. And so you have to make sure that you bring in all the other young people that within your countries, because now this is, first of all, a country-based campaign, and then later on it goes to the whole region of Africa, the whole continent. So you start from your country, mobilize other young people, and then come together later as young Africans together from different countries and voice out that common voice and shout it loud. My food is African, and appreciate it. Yeah, for the youth, I would like to say that first of all, they have to appreciate their food. They have to stand by their voice. They do not have to be shaken by that foreign influence, and the media. They have to be wary of the media. The media is very persuasive, but they also have to try to consume what they think is good for them, and also try to understand what is honestly good for them, because there are so many different programs happening on different television channels, happening on social media, and these programs actually persuading these people. So they have to understand what is good for them. If they know that junk food causes obesity, then why would you consume that food? So this is a call to all young people to appreciate the diversity of African diets. African diets are so diverse, and the inclusiveness, but also the identity. You have to belong somewhere. You have to appreciate your roots and also understand that African food is extremely healthy and extremely nutritious. And one last thing is on the policy. The young people have to advocate for favorable food policies, favorable sustainable food policies. And these policies are the ones that are going to help create a sustainable, healthy future for Africa. So they have to make sure that they lobby their policymakers in their different countries, and then they have to make sure that those policymakers listen to them, so that they put this voice up there and create those policies that are going to enable a healthy and nutritious Africa. Yeah, very simple. African food is healthy. African food is nutritious. African food is the inner mask that prevents you from from contracting those kind of diseases that you should have prevented yourself by eating that healthy food instead of consuming the junk food or the foreign imposed food that Africans are not used to. And the food that they call palatable, it may be palatable, but it may not be nutritious. African food is both. It's palatable, it's nutritious, it's healthy. So African youth have to understand this, but also they have to appreciate. It starts with appreciation of your own culture, your own diets. Yeah, AFSA being a leader in Africa civil society, and also an influential leader within the policy space, influencing policymakers. We demand for the shift to sustainable food systems and food production, and that includes sustainable approaches like agroecology. So it's important for policymakers to understand the voice from the ground and understand the recommendations that are coming from the ground, from the grassroots people, because communities understand what is good for them and they appreciate sustainable measures of food production and sustainable measures of the complete food system.